edited video and it's pouring out, that I would go live on. That's my YouTube channel. I'm sure if you all are just maybe seeing in your feed, you can definitely check out all my latest videos. Oh, there's my travel channel. I wish I could get my computer on here. I probably could figure out how to do that. But anyway, make sure you subscribe so you keep up with the latest. All right, I'm going to turn that on, maybe put pickleball on there. But I have my computer set up, so I might be able to see questions, but I'm not sure. So anyway, first, it's been a busy couple of weeks. It's been a busy summer. Let's see, I know when I go to my channel. All right, anyway. All right, I'll try to figure that out as I go along. All right, so busy couple weeks. I actually had, I'm sorry, I keep sitting up. What I have, I had 3 closings this week. I have 3 next week, and I've tried, that 350 again to 450 market is really, really hot. But a couple of all these things are coming up with all of my buyers, so I want to address quite a few of these topics. So stick with me. I don't know how many. I saw these black clouds coming in. I thought, time to go home. All right, for those of you who might be new here, my name's Robyn Cavallaro. I'm a licensed realtor here in Florida. I primarily sell in the villages, and if you want to buy a home, I'm a buyer's agent. I have some listings, but primarily I work with buyers. I really like that buyer scenario. I'm your villages expert, so you definitely want to give me a call if you're looking to buy a home here or need some more information. I know I keep moving because you know what? When I'm looking at the screen, it looks like there's a lot of headroom here. Okay, so some of the questions that are coming up during the buying process and even after the buying process, which I'm going to review with you now. Let's talk about, and this is in no order of how things would transpire, just how I wrote them down on my notes. And geez, I really wish I could find my own live broadcast here so I could find the notes. Oh, there we are. I see. I got it. Oops, I'm going to get rid of the sound. All right. Okay. All right, so, oh, yeah, there you go. So if you make a comment, I should be able to see it. I'm going to move my computer here so I can see. All right. Let's talk about mail. Everyone asks about how do I get my mail. So we have mail stations here. It's your address, but each home has a new box number associated with their home. So you don't have to put, you know, whatever, 123 Main Street, box 518. You just have to put your address, and the post person for your mail station will be able to find your address. When it comes to packages, UPS, FedEx, Amazon, of course, will deliver to your home. But if the package arrives through the Postal Service, you will see in your mailbox, you'll get a little key, and it'll tell you which locker number it is, because there are all the boxes on the top, and then on the very bottom there are large storage lockers for any packages that you may receive. And there's some days where I will, oh wow, this is really funny, I can see me on here. There are some days where I'll have UPS delivered to the home, and then packages are still going to my to the mail station. So you just want to, okay, Life with Tammy and Dean, this is property disclosure include in the contract. Work done at home wasn't approved by ARC, death at home, okay. All right, I will answer that question next. So yeah, so you just get your mail and your packages over at the mail station. Gate passes are, do you need a gate pass? No, all you have to do is push the button. If you're looking to come here and check it out, our roads are public, so they're not private. And hey, can everybody hear me though? I gotta make sure, yeah, I think you can hear me. Let's see here. I'm gonna see if I can hear myself. Yeah, I think you can hear me. Oh, yeah. Okay, there we go. It's like a little bit of a lag on my computer. But anyway, so the roads here are public. They're maintained by the county or the township, whichever. And hey, the chief is in the room. I would sing Hail to the Chief, but I only sing Bon Jovi. Anyway, so the roads are maintained, they're public. So if you're coming here to check it out, you don't need a guest pass. All you need to do is push the button and you can get through the gate. Even if it says call for help or, you know, do you need help? No one's going to respond. You just push the button, come through the gate. Also, you don't need to go through resident or guest. It doesn't really matter. Let's see, where did my comments go? Okay, there we are. Hi, Gary. Okay, so an ID. Once you close on a property, you have to go to one of the sales centers to get your permanent identification. You register, you go in, they sit you down in a room, they tell you how wonderful it is, and they give you a little book, and they tell you about how they incinerate the trash, blah, blah, blah. And you get your photo ID, which is like a credit card with your identification on it. That's yours, and you should have it with you at all times in the event that you're at the pool maybe or somewhere and they come and check ID. They'll do that on the pickleball courts once in a while. They'll check ID. So you want to make sure that you have that available. If you have a rental property and you want your tenants to be able to use the amenities, you have to surrender your ID and provide it for your tenants. Now, if you need more information about that, I don't want to get into the detailed process of that, but you can just call me or email me. Also, if you have guests, you can get a guest pass, and those you get at the regional rec centers. You don't have to surrender your ID to get a guest pass, but your family has, if your family, they can reside anywhere. If it's, hey, Natalie from Arkansas. You know, I didn't know Chris Stapleton, he has this song, Arkansas, which I love. So you have to all check that one out. ID, if you have guests and they're your family, they can live anywhere. If you have guests and they reside in Sumter, Lake, or Marion County, you cannot get them a guest pass because they're trying to prevent people from living outside of the villages, finding someone in here and using the amenities and not paying for them while living outside of the community. And I understand that and I support that. But if it's your family, so for example, my daughter and son-in-law and the babies live in Lake County, I have an annual pass for them. I don't need to, because they're my family, it's fine. Also, you know what I want to talk about just real quick? I'm going to put this in the notes. People are always asking me, like, I don't want to say personal related questions, but what kind of camera gear I use, what do I use in my hair, what kind of makeup, you know, what do I need, you know, I use these things in my car, and all of the products that I use and know and love, I have on an Amazon account. It's called an influencer account, and I'll make videos telling you about these things and how I use them in my daily life and how I think it would benefit you. I have to put a link to it's kind of like a store, because if you purchase something from that link, I make like, I don't know, $1. It doesn't cost you any more, but you want to check that out because there might be some cool things that I've talked about in the past that might be beneficial for you that you would like. Okay, so we did mail, guest pass. Let's talk about garbage. Everyone asks about the trash removal. So trash removal is like what, 19 bucks a month. They come twice a week. You just put the trash out by the curb in bags. Don't put a garbage pail out there because they'll take it. You just put all your bags. Some areas I've heard they want you to break down the cardboard. And like down here, I don't have to break it down. I'm so used to breaking down cardboard because I had in the restaurant, we had to do that. We had a lot of cardboard. But yeah, so you just want to find out from whomever's collecting your trash if you need to, I'm sorry, to stand up here a second, my ankles hurt from sitting on them. Just find out in your area when they pick up the trash, what they require. You can request bulk pickup, and bulk pickup will take all of your garbage. So for example, when I got new furniture, I had an old sectional that, I mean, it was huge, and they took it. And my king size mattress they took, I had a table, so they'll take all of those things. Down here, south of 44, they had told me there was no charge. I don't know why, but it can be like 10 bucks, which is seriously reasonable, because when I moved from Pennsylvania, I had a lot of stuff I had to get rid of, and I called 1-800-GOT-JUNK. Yeah, and they 1-800 took a lot of my money. It was like $800 that I had TVs, all kinds of stuff, but I was crying when they when they left, how much money it was to get rid of that junk. So let's see. And again, I'm saying these are random things I wrote down that come up with buyers. Where are we located? Airports. So, all right, Robyn, I come on half of all of a sudden, and you say, let's talk about garbage. What the talk about trash removal. I choose my words carefully. I know I can't read. It's really small. Oh, you know what? This isn't a, there we go. All right, I made it bigger, so now I can see without having to squint. So the villages from where I live now, and I live south of 44, and yes, I live very close to the prison, but I feel safe. And overall, we'll talk about that while I'm talking about safety. The villages I feel is safe. I never feel threatened. I never feel unsafe. We don't have squatters. You don't see that like you see in a lot of the cities around the country here. It's pretty clean, pretty organized, pretty tight. So, and again, I haven't seen a prisoner yet. They're not coming here for pickleball music, I'm pretty sure. Although they might come for some Italian food, but other than that, I think if they leave that area, they're out of here. But where are we located? So from where I am, south of 44, again, you know, I'm close to the Turnpike and to 75. I am door to door, Orlando Airport, 50 minutes. Well, door to 50 minutes, and it takes me 50 minutes because I usually park off site. I don't take the transportation. Tampa Airport is probably about an hour, 10 minutes. And of course, if you probably go in a different direction, if you're up near Spanish Springs, you probably add 10 or 15 minutes onto these times, but you would go a different way, so it could still be 50 minutes. I'm not really sure, but you have to check that out. Let's see, Sanford Airport. So there's Orlando, Tampa, which are easily accessible. You can get all over the place. I know everybody misses my private video. Yeah, I know. Well, you have to call me and I can give you the private comments, but on the phone, not out in public. Anyway, Sanford Airport is like a nightmare to get to from here because there's no easy way to get to Sanford. And, you know, Allegiant flies out of there. And I used to fly into Sanford all the time when I lived in the Lehigh Valley. Because you basically have to pass Orlando Airport to get to Sanford. So you just want to think about that when you're flying in. But of course, if you're in a small regional market, Allegiant might be your best choice. So just think about that. But Frontier and Spirit, low-cost airlines do fly out of Orlando. Gainesville is another small regional airport. They're about an hour. I would think that probably would be a last resort just because Orlando and Tampa are so much closer and they're international. Well, Gainesville's probably international, but they only fly small jets out of there. I used to fly out of there. I used to visit a friend of mine. He lived in Gainesville, and I would fly in and out of Lehigh Valley, but I always have to stop in Atlanta to get to Gainesville, so there's no direct route. And best possible, I usually like to fly direct. Let's see. Thank you about that. All right, so is a property disclosure included in the contract? That one, sorry. When you list a home, we put a property disclosure. Okay. Sorry, I got sidetracked there. When you put a property disclosure, you have to put a property disclosure. And sometimes it'll say the owners occupied the property and it'll tell you everything that they know about the location. If they've lived in it. If they haven't lived in it, they really should check never occupied and just check no's because they don't really know. So for example, your parents own the home and you talk to your mom. I talk to my mom every day. Yeah, I got a new roof. I got a new roof or I got a new hot water heater, but you don't have really firsthand knowledge. It's kind of hearsay. Your mother or father passes, you really need to complete that seller's disclosure when your listing agent sends it to you that says all right, I don't think Cindy's watching. I have a closing going on right now. It's remote. We're waiting for the money to come through and I can't text her because I'm on the phone. Anyway, my God, I got distracted. What was I saying? I was talking about property disclosure. There you go. Okay. So, but they have to, whatever they know is on there. So, and I'm going to tell you this. We had an example just recently of someone owned the home. My buyer, or not my buyer, a investor bought it to flip it. And then my buyers bought that home. Well, there had been an insurance claim for a leak. And that leak, although they entered it into the system, it was never paid out. It was never paid out. So what that means is they still logged the claim. Nothing ever was paid out. There was never a claim, but the insurance company keeps it on their books. So now my buyers go to try to get insurance, and it was a real pain in the neck because they wanted to limit the water damage or water claim, but there was never any water damage because the builder who flipped the home pretty much ripped it apart, and he couldn't find a leak. So, but in the seller's disclosure, it wasn't there because he didn't know about it, and whomever was dealing with the home when he bought it, they didn't know about it because it was the sisters and the mother was incapacitated, and because there had never been a payout, they just assumed there was not a claim because they didn't get any money. So that was an issue, and unfortunately, the insurance company, because I sold insurance for a really long time, and there was nothing that we could do. Even though there was no claim, it was recorded. So just be careful if you're ever going to call the insurance company. It's kind of like calling the IRS. If you let them know you have money and you haven't paid taxes on it, they're going to come a-looking. If you call insurance company and say, hey, I think I had a claim, they're going to note it and you're in trouble. So just be careful about that. If you have any questions about, I can answer some insurance questions, but because I'm not licensed anymore, I can't get into details. But I can answer maybe some basic questions. All right. Let's talk about hospitals. So people ask me all about medical care here, and I don't use the medical system often. But I have a primary care, and they're they're not inside of the villages. If I were to go to the hospital, I would go to University, Florida in Leesburg because that's closest to my home. Okay, put your money where your mouth is, yo. The healthcare in the villages, I've heard, is not very good at that hospital. I do not have firsthand experience, though, so I cannot tell you that for certain. This is just what I've heard and what I've read. Their urgent care, I actually prefer urgent care because they're more responsive, because I find when you go to the emergency room, to me it seems like they're all playing, I don't know, video games or planning their next vacation. And you're sitting in the waiting room for 12 and a half hours. But so there's all kinds of medical facilities, and I tell everyone, if there's really something serious, you're probably not going to use the medical care here. You're going to go to Orlando. You're going to go, Claremont has huge top-rated medical facilities. Tampa, Gainesville, Shands. If you're VA, we do have a VA clinic here, but there's a big VA hospital in Gainesville. So that's probably where you are going to go for your medical care. So just keep that in mind, that even when you're home, I know I grew up outside of New York City, about an hour, and there was good medical there, but if there was anything serious, people went into New York for it. So you might have to travel a little bit. That's just like anything. You're going to travel a little bit to get to the beach, and in my opinion, you're going to travel for good food, except you're coming to my house for dinner. We already talked a little bit about safety. Let's talk about, okay, beaches. That's another question. How far are we from the beach? So we're kind of, I say we're a little on the west side of Central, and I've been to Siesta Key, I've been to Indian Rocks, which is Clearwater, Treasure Island. They're all about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Siesta Key is a little further. The closest kind of beachy place would be Crystal River, which I'm not real a fan of, Homosassa, but those are more inlets. I ride my motorcycle out there. They have this, we call it Tail of the Gecko. It's this little windy road. It's not like Tail of the Dragon in Tennessee, but yeah, so you're talking about inlets, not really beach, kind of want to go lay out in the sun. More I have a boat when I want to ride the canal, the inlets kind of place. The East Coast, I prefer New Smyrna Beach. I think the restaurants there are pretty cool. The beach is nice. It's about an hour and 45 minutes from here. I think that Daytona is a dump anymore. I've been there a couple times. I went and stayed overnight once when it wasn't bike week, but rode through a couple times, Biketoberfest bike week, and Daytona is not such a great place, so I would kind of skip that. Flagler Beach is really nice if you want to go up to St. Augustine. St. Augustine has nice beaches, and they have a lot to do there. They've got beautiful restaurants and a little town that you can shop in, and it's really cool. So think about that. All right, let's get to, yeah, okay, so the good, the bad, and the whatever. Yeah, I can't do that anymore, but if I'm working with you, and I'm on video conference with you, or I'm videoing specifically for you, or I am in the car and in a home with you, if I don't like the home, I will tell you, and I will tell you why I don't like it. And it's all based on everything that I've seen in the community, the homes that I visited, and your specific preferences. So that's why you hire me as an expert, because I am here and I'm in this community, and I want to make sure that you are making the best informed buying decision that you possibly can. So any questions that you have, even if you see something online, I usually can look at the photos and I can see more than you can, because I know what to look for, but I know you know, what looks good, what doesn't look good, and from the photos, because photos are deceiving. And sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're really good, but sometimes you just can't pick out certain nuances that I can see, or sometimes when you ask, I've actually been in that home. So you want to make sure you ask questions. And also, I want to talk, I'm just going to take a little break for a second. A friend of mine, Tina Verderosa, she's starting, or she does cabinets, refacing. But there's a need here for project coordination. So you buy a home and it needs to be completely renovated or partially renovated, or I know I'm saying gutted, but it needs some work, and you might not be here, or you need a little help. She can do that for you because she's very well embedded in the subcontractor community. She can manage the job for you, make sure the contractors are there, make sure she can get the quotes for you, make sure that they arrive on time and they get the job done. And I will put her name and number in the description box. She's also on my contractor list. And here, if you're actually listening, I do have a couple freebies I'm going to put on my website. One is a buyer's guide, gives you a lot of information about, snippets of information about buying and what to expect. I have a vendors list for you of all vendors that my buyers have used, or I know, and I've used them personally, and a next step checklist, so you know how to proceed. Because I do have a transaction coordinator that once you go under contract, she keeps us running smoothly. She fills out some more documents that might be missing, and she contacts you letting you know where we are and your lender, and just make sure everything runs smooth. And her name is Christine. But also, I have an assistant. Her name is Coel. And when you register on my website to search for homes, Coel will reach out at some point within a week, maybe sometime. Okay. Coel will reach out to you, and I have her filling in the gaps in your client snapshot, because what I'm looking for is when you register, what your time frame to purchase is, what your budget is, do you have a specific style of home or area, and a couple of particulars, so I know if I need to contact you right away to get you on the calendar, or if you're a couple of years out, just be here to offer some support. So expect to receive a phone call from her. And please note, somebody messaged me, and this really bothered me. I don't sell your information. All of your phone numbers and email addresses are absolutely safe with me, and they're for my purposes only. So please do not feel, if you get contacted by somebody, do not think it's from me, except if it comes from Coel or we are under contract, and you will hear from Christine. Okay. All right. Restaurants, one of my favorite topics. So people ask, what's your favorite restaurant? And looking for recommendations. So here, I'm going to give you a couple of places that I like. Now, everybody has different tastes. And what you need to know about me, because, well, I shouldn't say because I'm in the restaurant business, because I've been with people in the restaurant business and they're all a pain in that when you take them out to eat, but I'm very easy. You put food in front of me and I'll eat it. If I don't like it, I'm not sending it back. Nope, not sending it back. I'm not complaining. I may give them another shot or I may not, depends on, you know, the situation. But a couple of the places I like here, I like Paisano's. I love their Italian food. I think it's good. I like their pizza. I've had meatball sub, hero, whatever we call the hero. I've had the pasta dishes. I go there with my granddaughter sometimes and my children because they have several Paisanos located here in Central Florida. In Brownwood, well, I just went to that Dole Whip place and and I made a video about that and the cupcake shop. So for sweets, I think those are pretty good options. I've been to Harvest. It's good. You know, all the food here is basically decent. I'm going to sneeze. I'm just telling you right now. Excuse me. I like the Sunny Pint. They have some cool bar food options and all kinds of beer. They do beer samplers, and there's thunder. We had a storm coming rolling in, and I think it's coming back. I like all the different types of beers. They'll do beer flights, which I always find interesting, and just little picky foods to go with it. So I like the Sunny Pint. That's just outside of Brownwood on 44. I also, I gotta stop. I gotta stop reading my text messages. Sunny Pint, oh, Wolfgang Puck. All right, so Wolfgang Puck has a couple dishes I like. Their pizza's pretty good, but they make a mezza that has hummus and olive tapenade and guacamole and pita. And I also go there sometimes for lunch and eat that. And also their schnitzel is good. I like schnitzel, and I gotta make that. You know, I have some pork in my freezer. I think I'm gonna make that with some brown gravy. It's really good. It's kind of like a German chicken cutlet. All right, so let's move up to Sumter Landing. I've had pizza at Red Sauce. It's good. You know, it's just bar food at RJ Gators. RJ Gators is cool because they have RJ Gators has music during the day, and it's right next to the Haagen-Dazs shop. So I'll take Clara up there once in a while, and we get ice cream and listen to the music. So, and actually listen to the music, you know. Anybody? I know I'm rambling a little bit. The Doobie Brothers. That's one of my favorite songs. Okay, so VK1. They have the teppanyaki where they cook in front of you. I haven't been. I heard that food is very good, but I like Sakura. So Sakura, you can get the same Japanese-style dinner but they don't cook it in front of you. And I've actually got it to go, and it's still very good. It holds very well, and it's like a huge amount of food. So definitely, they're secure at Colony, and then I know there's one on 441 somewhere, but you should give that a try. I love Japanese. I love that type of food. Up in Spanish Springs, I like Americanos because I'm into Mediterranean. I like falafel. They have saganaki, baklava. They have all of that. Gyro. They have Mediterranean skewers, and I'm really into that kind of stuff. So you want to give that a try if you're up in Spanish Springs. And hey, if you have an interesting restaurant recommendation, please let me know. Just outside of the villages, I've been to Ramshackles a couple times. It's pretty cool. I like it there. Stavros has good Italian food. I think they're Greek, and they're remodeling it now, and it's nothing special on the inside, but those little places have the best food. I can talk about food all day. 2 more places I'm gonna get off the food thing. Well, I would go to Mount Dora or to Ocala, but Ski Beach over in Leesburg and on Lake Weir. Oh my God, I'm losing my mind. I can't remember the name of the place. Well, there's a place in Lake Weir owned by Ski Beach. And Flying Boat, yes, the Flying Boat. Have you been there? It's really good there. I like it. And they have a lot of beer too. They don't have mixed drinks, but they have beer and wine. And that's in Bellevue, so that's just outside of the villages as well. Let's see. What are my thoughts on Del Webb, Stone Creek, and Ocala? You know what? I think I've been to the one in Ocala. Oh yeah, I was. I think they're finishing that development out, but that was probably like 4 or 5 months ago. I was up there. There is a Del Webb down here in Summerfield. You know, all of those over 55 communities that are outside of the villages are so different because they're not a lot of activity. Not as much here. I say people go there to live. People live here because they want to play sports, activities, that kind of thing. I think you might want to, rethink about that because I think on top of the world, they have some great buys up there. You have a really nice home for what you're paying for, but it's dead. It's just, the community's dead. I like Ocala. If you ride a motorcycle, they have great roads going through Ocala. I like the foods downtown. I get my hair done up there. So, wait, let me see. I have, come on. Let's move up a little bit. I have questions. All right, they stopped construction of the hospital in the south. You know, it's so funny. I'm not even going to say it. We don't need a hospital down here. Everybody's younger. No, I'm just kidding. That's a joke. There's a friend of mine, we keep busting back and forth about north and south. And he always busts my chops at the prisons in my backyard. So let's see. We talked about the property disclosure. What was improved by ARC? So with ARC, you would have to call them and ask if there's something not approved. Now, if there's a lien against the property, they'll pull that up in title search when you're going to purchase, but I know there's a big to-do about the stones in the property. Like, I just had a buyer buy one with all the stones, and they had the documentation from ARC that said it was okay for them to do it. So you might have to do a little bit of research or have your realtor do a little bit of research in that buying process. Death in the home. Okay, so we do have an older community here, and sometimes people do pass. Sometimes as realtor, we don't know that they've passed in the home. I don't specifically ask that question. And it bothers some people. They don't want to know that someone died in the home. But I have to tell you here, this is active adult, but there are a lot of older people here. You can be younger and die in your house, but you might want to be able to expect that that's going to be the case here, that you're going to come across sometimes where there may have been a death in the home and we might not know about it. Also, I get a lot of questions always when someone's going to buy. They want to know why they're selling. And this is what I can tell you. And I'm just like, this is what I tell buyers. If you're going to buy a home and their neighbors are bad, they're not going to tell you. If I ask, so why are they moving? They're not going to say, oh, my neighbor's a whack job. You know, they're not going to say anything. They're just going to say, oh yeah, we love the neighborhood. If a lot of time, and then there's several different reasons why people buy and sell. They're selling because they bought another house. They didn't like that house anymore. It was too big, too small. They want a newer house, whatever reason. They've been here 20 years and one of their spouses passed, and they want to go back to be near their kids. They don't want the memories, whatever. That happens a lot. They're older and they can't take care of themselves, and their children are out of state, so they move back to where their children are, and that happens often. So, you know, if it's really important that you know why they're moving, you might want to, you know, we can ask, and I always do if the question comes up. I'm just moving down my question. All right, so I think I got all of those. Let's see, a friend broke her foot and told she had to wait until October to get an MRI. That was after the doctor wrote the note and said it had to happen ASAP. All right, so I would say just like anything, then you need to probably go to another physician or another hospital or another urgent care or something. I've heard that sometimes it's backed up, but yeah, that's very unfortunate. I'm very sorry that happened, but I think, you know, if maybe, I don't know what your medical benefits are, if it's limited to certain certain physicians here. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know about Medicare. I'm not old enough yet. I am turning 60 in 2 weeks, though. I could be talking about 60 all damn year, and now it's here. It's like, no! I'm 59 and holding. All right, so yeah, I would say if you can, just do some more research and see if there's another facility that can help you. Have ever been to Spruce Creek South? Yes. Not my favorite place. I think Stonecrest is much nicer and the Del Webb, but I'm not really a fan of Spruce Creek, and I'm not really a fan of the Plantation. But it's just different communities, and every community appeals to people for different reasons. If you're looking for a home there, you know, give me a call. I can, you know, look through some of them and tell you, but I don't really like it. And I'm allowed to give you my opinion, because I've driven through there. All right, let's see here. Thank you, Paul. Thank you for loving my book. During a power outage, can you use a generator? Yes, Diane, you can. And some people do have a full home generator. I don't know if that's overkill, because I've been here 4 years and I haven't even had the lights flicker that I can remember. So I think we're pretty fortunate here. Now, if there's a massive storm, now we've been lucky because Ian hit south when it was supposed to come through Tampa, and Idalia, whatever it was, went north to the Big Bend. Had that come 100 miles south, it could have been, you know, a little bit of a problem for us. So we've escaped it, but yes, you can have a generator. You and your wife fell in love with less than 24 hours. We moved here in June 2020 and love it here every day. Awesome. Spent a week in the, this is from Gary, July, loved it. We have a few more years to go. Okay, well, we'll see you in a few years. I don't think I'm going anywhere unless I hit the lottery. If I hit the lottery, people, I'm out here. How long does it take to be approved if you buy a home with room for a pool? So what I've been told is, this was about 2 months ago, TD Pools said they were taking appointments in January. So you would have to wait January to at least get appointment. And she said 6 to 9 weeks from contract to close. Now, the gap that she left was from the time you have your appointment to the time you have a contract. How long does that take? I've heard a year. It takes a year for you to get a pool. Now, if you're going to build, of course, you can build a home and the villages can put it in. A lot of people put it in after the fact. So here, let's talk about pools and room for pool. And As you know, we don't have a lot of space here. Now, some yards have more than others. You can expect the more yard, the more money you're going to pay for the home. The pools overall, I don't believe are large. I think a lot of them are very small, almost like a plunge pool. I just want to kind of sit and float. Maybe, some of them are really nice. They have a little low walk-in, and you could put benches in there. You can sit there, watch the sunset, have a glass of wine. I think that would be pretty cool. But some of them are like that. But just expect that you are not going to have a lot of room in your backyard, and it's going to be a pool on the smaller size. You're going to find pools, like there's a home right now that has a pool, but the house is a disaster. And I'm not going to talk about it. If you want to know about it, let me know. The whole house needs to be gutted. I said it. I didn't give you the address. So I don't want anybody complaining. But it needs a lot of work, and so does the pool. And that's at $500,000. And for the most part, if you want a large enough backyard for a big pool, you can expect 600, 650, 700,000 for the home, and then the pool on top of that. Most homes in that $400,000 range, they just don't have a lot of room, and you're going to get no pool or a small pool. So just keep that in mind when you're looking. The pool home, it can be a challenge here. I find that some people want a pool and some don't. I think if you're a snowbird, a pool is kind of problematic because you're going to spend more money having people take care of that home and that pool more than you're probably going to be in it. Because don't forget, December, it gets cold. And I know everyone that's not here says, oh yeah, I'm in my shorts at 50. And so was I in Pennsylvania. Now I live here, it's 70, I had a sweatshirt on. So you got to remember, it just becomes different. And when it starts to get 40 at night, that water's cold. Even though it might heat up to 70, that water's not heating up to 70. So just keep that in mind. Keep your options open. It's the best advice I could give. All right, so let's talk. Oh, we got a lot here. Fire and police. The fire department, each county charges a fire assessment, and all right. Still no sound, huh? Okay. Still no sound, right? Shoot. Okay, we're all good. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Yeah, I don't know what I did there. All right. HOA. We are not a homeowners association. We are CDD district development. And it's very important when you have a lender that doesn't do business here, because they're starting to look for documents, and it slows the process up that we don't have because we're not a homeowners association. And I see this also with realtors who don't do business here. They put the wrong documents up in the MLS. Our CDDs, they the CDD fee pays to maintain the common areas in the neighborhood. You as the homeowner maintain your own property. Oh, I see why. I know why that went dead, because I just got a voicemail. That's probably why. I can't turn the phone off, and I can't do live broadcast. I had to do it on my phone. Anyway, okay. So we have CDDs. You maintain your own property. Homeowners Association, sometimes they throw in trash and cable. They'll maintain your yard. We don't do that here. You maintain your own space. The CDD never goes away, and it maintains the common areas. When they're changing the flowers out every 25 minutes, they mow around the detention ponds, get rid of the gators. No, they don't get rid of the gators. Sorry. There's always a gator in the water. Just remember that. But it's important for your lender to know that, so it doesn't slow up the process. And when I have a buyer and they're using their financing, I call the lender and explain to them about the bond, about the CDD, about the amenity fee, about the community, so they know. Half the time I have to do it 4 or 5 times, but it kind of helps. Let's see. Country clubs. So we have 13 country clubs, 13 executive or championship courses, and there's a country club associated with it. You need to know these are open to the public. Actually, all the restaurants and shops are open to the public. A country club, I say, because I came from a place where Saucon Valley Country Club was in our backyard, and a lot of my friends belonged, and it cost huge amounts of money to belong there, and you had to spend so much money a month, and the food was, exceptional. The restaurants here, the food is good, but it's not the same kind of country club as you feel that you are probably used to where you come from, because it's just a restaurant attached to a golf course. Everybody can use the restaurant. Everyone can use the executive or the championship golf courses, but you have to pay. Those are pay to play. The execs are included in your amenity fee. Please address insurance problem. TD Pools sold it to Patriots. Okay. All right, insurance. So yes, insurance is a problem. First off, rule of thumb, figure about $1.25 a square foot to insure your home if the roof is good. If the roof is old, so for example, right now, I had a buyer, we went into agreement on another home, but there was one she was looking at, and the roof was 2009, and it's going to need a roof. But the person who flipped it is at the bottom of where they can go, and there's no more room to come down, which honestly they should take then and just spend the money, put the roof on it, and then they'll be able to sell it for a higher price, but at least it can sell it, because in that limbo stage, so you have a home, it needs a roof. Now, do you pay to put the roof on before closing? Yes, you can do that. But I caution you, if you, as I had this happen to me, if you have a home that you're buying, the roof is old, and you can't get insurance or before closing because the roof is old, because most of the time they won't let you go past, or they may let you go a month, depends on the carrier. But if you have to put that roof on prior to closing, you need to have an agreement drawn up between you and the seller. Now, that is absent of the realtor. We cannot put that agreement together for you. We are not attorneys. I will not touch that with it. I'm sure she's got gossip for me. If you, or was I now? I got to find a better way to do this. This is annoying. So if you, oh my God, insurance, where was I? Please, somebody remind me. A roof. Yes, I'm on a roof. Okay. If you need to have that roof replaced prior to closing, you have to have the agreement done separately, because we cannot do that for you. And what happened in my case was, it was my seller. We had given the buyers a concession to put a roof on. And what we did was, they had to put the roof on prior to closing. They drew up an agreement. They had it notarized. And it said that they were going to put the roof on. They were going to pay for it. In the event the seller were to back out of the deal or everything fell apart, the seller was going to have to pay the buyer for the roof, because now they had a house with a brand new roof on it. And that's something that they agreed to the terms to together. So that is possible. But getting insurance with an old roof is very hard. Now, I've heard some instances, even with the hot water heater, that they want to make sure that it's a new hot water heater. Why? I don't know. It's $1,000 item. You can get that done after closing. And the hot water heater here, they're in the garage. And, you know, if it leaks, it's going to leak out of the garage outside. It's not going to leak in your house, but whatever. So did that answer your questions about insurance? I don't know what else to tell you. I have several carriers that I refer to. Some people have luck, some people don't. And I explained that situation with the buyer for today, how they had a problem with the insurance. So, but they ended up getting insurance with Citizens. They have full water coverage and they're happy. Thank God, crisis averted. Shopping. There are a lot of shops around here. I shop on Amazon pretty much. I don't go to the store. You know, I went to, where was I? I went down to Tampa Outlets on Saturday last week. And actually I got the cute, I'm going to show you. I got these really cute sandals. Sorry, walked away. All right. So I got, can you see those? I got these sandals at the Tampa Outlet. I was picking clients up the other day and I'm walking into the hotel and this woman stopped me, made me take the shoe off so she could take a picture of that. These shoes are so cute. And I got some with a little bit of heel because, you know, I'm vertically challenged. So Tampa Premium Outlet's a pretty cool place. I got a lot of shops, a lot of restaurants. I actually met my son, daughter-in-law, and the baby out there for lunch. And then I went shopping. You know, they're shopping in Ocala, they're shopping here. And all the big box stores you're really going to find up on 441, Target, Kohl's, Sam's Club, BJ's, a bunch of restaurants. So all that is all up on 441. Let's see. What other questions? Can you define an old roof? It depends on the insurance carrier. Sometimes it's 10. Sometimes it's 12, sometimes it's 15, but usually no more than 15 years. You're not going to find 20 and 30-year roofs here. You're going to find them all having to been replaced at that point in time. We're not an attorney. That's right. I'm not an attorney. 12 years. There you go. Yep. Yeah, aren't they cute? I love them. Love them, love them. All right. And I'm like a shoe freak. I used to have a lot. I used to have a lot more shoes and I wear more boots in the winter, but now I don't have that many boots. I do have a few. Okay. All right. All right. So 2 last things. I do have a vacant lot on listing and we just dropped the price. It was $140. It's $120. The manufactured home's been cleared away. It's in the historic district, but it's ready. If you want to build your own home here in the Villages and not have to pay the Villages for it, that's your opportunity. It's 1227 Dustin Lane. It's in Silver Lake, over on the other side of Spanish Springs, and you can call me with some information about that. And also, I still have my listing on Rockingham. It's a premier home, $873,000, 3-bed, 2-bath, with their outdoor lanai. It's enclosed lanai. It's 3,000 square feet. Public record has the interior of the home at 2,500. And it's 3 full car garage, and it has magic stairs to get into the attic. So if you're looking for a premier home, there's room for a pool, and it's in Charlotte. I'd love to be able to sell that home for my sellers, find them a buyer. All right, any other questions? I think I'm going to end it here. I have to return some phone calls. I want to thank everyone watching my channel. I really do appreciate you all out there. And when I'm out, you say hello. It's really very heartwarming that I can able to provide everyone enough information and they find it valuable. So I do appreciate everyone out there. Don't forget, if you're into pickleball, check out pbzone40.com. I have some cool designs up there. And I think that's it. All right. Is Costco coming? I have no idea. I know they're building one down in Winter Garden or Claremont. All right, everyone. It's Friday. Hopefully, if it clears up. So I'm supposed to play pickleball this afternoon, practicing. Tomorrow, we play Moneyball on Saturday. And my partner, Jim, I call him Boot Man because the man, he's really good. But he had done something to his leg, and for a while when it was almost done healing, he had a boot. He had a boot, like he had a broken leg. This man has a boot on him and a sneaker, and he's playing out there with the boot, and he's amazing. So now I call him Bootman. So Bootman and I are playing at Everglades tomorrow at 11. Moneyball. You want to come watch some good pickleball, you have to check us out. Tomorrow, Saturday. Thanks to the video about first visit a few weeks ago, coming in a month. Awesome. We need to help you find a house when you're coming here in a month. So everyone, I guess that's going to be it. Boot man. No, he's got a boot on his leg. All right, everyone, I don't want to digress here. All right, thank you for watching. I do appreciate everyone out there. And don't forget, if you're looking to buy a home here or sell in the Villages, Florida, I'm your girl. Make sure you check out my website, robyncavallaro.com, and I will see you next time. All right, now I'm going to close it out here.